How could betrayal wear the same face I had kissed every single night for a decade straight? How could the woman I whispered goodnight to, the one I shielded from the storms of life, be the very person to tear my world apart with a silent blade and a vacant stare? I never imagined that the one I had sacrificed so much for would be the one to look me in the eye and gut me without flinching. But there it was, raw, brutal, undeniable truth staring back at me with cold, hollow eyes. There would be no escape into lies, no comforting illusions left to retreat into. Life, I've learned, has a wicked sense of irony, like a bitter joke the universe laughs at alone. And love? Love's a blindfold that hugs you tight enough to press the steel of betrayal clean into your heart. We shared almost 13 years together. Indila and I had been married for 9. Our story started back in college, a pair of dreamers colliding in youth. I was knee-deep in an engineering degree, working nights in the graveyard shift at the university's IT center to pay my tuition without falling behind. She? She was all fire and color, a fine arts major who lived like a canvas in motion, wild, unpredictable, electric. I was mesmerized by her from the start. I was calm, she was chaos. And God help me, I was addicted to her. I spent my life waiting for her to say 3 words. Just 3. The first time she whispered, "I love you," I swear, time stood still, as though I had waited my entire life just for that moment to arrive. Once I graduated, I landed a decent job. We moved into a small apartment, tight on space, tighter on funds. I didn't have much, but I gave her everything I did have. I made sure she had the freedom and support to chase her artistic dreams, while I worked overtime, took on every extra shift I could to stash away what little I earned. I even dipped into my emergency savings when her studio wasn't profitable. But I never complained. Not once. That's what love meant to me. Choosing her happiness, even if it meant ignoring my own. And slowly, so slowly I barely noticed it at first, the tides shifted. I chalked it up to life's pressures, the wear and tear of routine. Her kisses came fewer. Her touch grew colder, more absent. She'd come home later and later, murmuring things about private commissions and gallery deadlines. And I believed her. Of course I did. She was my wife, my best friend, my everything. But the doubt, it crept in like a shadow I couldn't shake. Soon, her behavior changed. She clutched her phone like it held government secrets. She smiled more at her screen than she ever did at me. And that warm, familiar laugh, the one that used to belong to me, now belonged to that little glowing device in her hand. Our conversations turned stale, transactional. Gone were the "I love yous." Gone were the spontaneous kisses, the late-night cuddles, the silly inside jokes. All that was left between us was a canyon of silence and cold indifference. One night, I came home early. I brought her favorite Thai takeout, even bought yellow tulips, her favorite, from the corner shop. I was trying, desperately. She was lounging on the couch with a glass of white wine, glued to her phone, barely registering me. "I brought you Pad CU," I said, gently setting the bag on the table. "Maybe we could have a quiet night?" She lowered her glass, looked at me like I was an intruder. "Adam, we need to talk." Those words, God, they ripped the floor out from under me. "I need space," she said, eyes never quite meeting mine. I blinked. "What does that even mean?" "I just need to be alone. I feel like I've lost myself. I don't know who I am anymore." "Lost? Are you saying you feel lost here with me?" She didn't answer right away. She just sipped her wine and stared past me. I feel like I'm trapped. I have to figure out who I am without this. I sat there, stunned. Was she really saying this? After all the years I held her up, stood by her, caught her every time she fell. Now I was the cage? But I swallowed the pain and locked eyes with her. Then pack fast, I said calmly. It starts tonight. She blinked, stunned. Maybe she thought I'd beg, that I'd crumble, weep, fight to keep her. But I was done chasing a ghost already halfway out the door. She left that night, a duffel bag in hand, her face blank. No tears, no goodbyes. Just 5 cold words. I'll call when I'm settled. She didn't even glance back. But hear this. When someone says they need space, it's never a question. They already have a destination. My gut twisted tighter each day. I checked her socials. Nothing seemed unusual until I opened the Instagram for her art studio. A man named Elliot Green kept popping up. He was in his 40s, ran some high-end art investment firm, and had once mentored her during an internship. There they were in photo after photo. Cafes, exhibits, art events. The captions made my stomach turn. Inspired by genius. He gets me. And the one that shattered me, he sees me. I opened her synced iPad and found their texts. Soft, flirty, romantic. The timeline destroyed me. These weren't messages from after she left. They began weeks before. One thread burned into my memory. Elliot, can't wait for this weekend? Just us. Indila, told Adam I need space. He told me to pack fast, so I'm yours tonight. I closed the tablet. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I let the betrayal settle into my bones like winter. And I made a choice. I wouldn't fight her. I'd reveal her. I reached out to an old college buddy, Darren, now in private security. I asked for 2 favors, a GPS tracker for Indila's car and access to her real-time messages. In 48 hours, I had both. That weekend, she and Elliot drove to a secluded lake house he owned. I followed digitally. Each ping brought me closer. I brought a GoPro, drone, zoom lens, the works. I watched them sip wine on a dock. She wore the same dress I bought her for our last anniversary. I filmed everything. Late that night, I snuck to her car and left a letter in the glove box. You wanted space. Now you've got it. I took the key fob. Your car won't start. 50 miles of wilderness. Enjoy. Then I left, with her bag, the keys, and my wedding ring, which I tossed into the lake. I went home, edited the footage, uploaded it privately. Then I sent it to 4 people. Her parents, her gallery investor, the art council reviewing her fellowship, and Elliot's wife. And then I cracked a beer and waited. The storm came quick. Her mom called me sobbing. Adam, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I can't believe it. The investor? Pulled out immediately. The art council? Rejected her application, citing a moral conduct clause. And Elliot's wife? Filed for divorce the next week. Apparently, Indila wasn't the first protege he guided. Indila called, dozens of times, left angry, tearful messages, claimed I ruined everything. I blocked her. A week later, she showed up at my door. I didn't open it. She left a long, trembling letter in the mailbox. Said she was sorry, that she missed me, that she didn't know what she was doing. I read the first lines, then tossed it in the trash, exactly where she'd left our marriage. 1 year has passed. I've traveled. I've taken up photography, written out my pain, lived in quiet peace. And whenever nostalgia creeps in, when the ghosts of her laugh or scent try to sneak back in, I remember her words. I need space. And I gave it to her. forever. I don't hate her, but I'll never forgive her. She discarded a man who gave everything and gave back nothing but betrayal. So if you're reading this, if your partner ever says they need space, don't beg, don't collapse, don't lose yourself. Just whisper, pack fast, it starts tonight, and walk away with your head held high. Some things don't need to be said. The end.